Hello, buddy, and welcome to a tropical update here. This is the wide view of the Atlantic. Not much really going on other than the two name storms right now. We have recently degraded tropical depression Marco now currently going on over land in Louisiana. Forecasts do not really give too much in the way of impacts to Louisiana and Texas here, fortunately. Unlike that was forecast about a day or so ago, like you saw. But the main game in town right now, of course, is Tropical Storm Laura currently going on, and as you can see, it's currently going over or went over Cuba now, and now it appears to be coming out into the Gulf of Mexico now, where conditions are forecast to be really conductive for development. Unfortunately, here as it heads into the Gulf of Mexico and has time about 48 hours, give or take, to intensify in the Gulf of Mexico before making landfall either in Louisiana or Texas. Most models think at this point in time, and the National Hurricane Center think as well at this point in time. To go ahead and take a better look at that's the wrong storm. At a better look at Tropical Storm Laura here, and you can see it's been intensifying over time here, but it looks of it on southern imagery and it's kind of better consolidating itself really. Of course, not the best looking tropical storm there is, but definitely something not to take lightly at all here. Like I said, because it has about 48 hours window to intensify into something here. And I'll go into more into detail in a little bit about that, but you can see just the satellite imagery. The satellite imagery is provided by Alex Borham from Cyclonic Wix. The website is on the top of your screen right here if you want to copy and paste that. I'll have it on the description as well if you want to look at it as well. Great guy with that great satellite imagery here. But you can see, like I've been saying, the storm just better consolidating and getting its act together by the looks of it here on satellite imagery. So it'll be interesting to see how the storm looks like tomorrow morning when I wake up tomorrow morning. It'll be interesting to see how it looks like in that time frame. This is the storm that I accidentally showed you a little too early here. This is Typhoon Bavi, currently going on in Western Pacific right now. You can see it's trying to form out that eye, and it's becoming a little bit better pronounced over time here in the last few satellite frames. Um, and here's the Joint Typhoon Warning Center forecast track. They forecasted to peak as a 110 knot system, which is about 125 miles per hour, which makes it a high end Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, as it threatens the Koreas here over time, and eventually it looks like China here as a weakening typhoon by the looks of it. So there's something to watch there. If you have anybody that lives there or nobody that lives there, just give them a heads up that this is heading for them, and they might get affected by this storm again. 110 knot forecast peak, which is about 125 miles per hour, Category 3 force. Just with 90 knot winds at this point with this advisory here, and 90 knots, I believe, is about, I think it's 100 or 105 miles per hour if my memory serves me right. You guys can comment down below and tell me if I'm wrong or right there, but I believe it's about 100 or 105 miles per hour if my memory is correct here. But yep, there's the typhoon there. Here's a look at Tropical Depression Marco. Not really looking that good at all on satellite imagery here. Again, poses really little, if any, threat to Louisiana and Texas, fortunately, here, as it just kind of meanders around this area as Laura goes over and heads for this general region of the coast here. Here's a look at the Eastern Pacific right now. Just want to quickly show you this. There's two invests currently going on. I believe there is invest 97L right about here and 98L to right about here. And you can see that on their latest forecast outlook here. You can see formation chance for the next 48 hours, a high 70% chance. Formation chance for the next 5 days for disturbance number 1, a high 90% chance. And then for disturbance number 2, a high 80% chance of formation for the next 48 hours and 5 days for that system respectively. And so interesting there. Here's a little quick look at Tropical Depression Marco here. Advisory 20. The center is located at 29.0 degrees west, 89.8 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1 minute winds are at 35 miles per hour, making it a tropical depression, of course. Moving to the due west at 9 miles per hour, and again, forecast to be very, very little, if any, threat to Louisiana and Texas, fortunately. And here's the main game in town in terms of the Atlantic right now. Tropical Storm Laura here as of Monday, August 24th, the 2020 update. August 24th, 2020, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time update. I mean, advisory 21. Center is located at 22.7 degrees north, 87.0 degrees west, with maximum sustained 1 minute winds at 65 miles per hour. Moving to the west northwest at 20 miles per hour as of this latest update. And you can also see Tropical Storm warnings in effect for Western Cuba, and then Tropical Storm warnings in effect for the Florida Keys as well. And then also Tropical Storm, I'm not Tropical Storm, there also is Tropical Storm watches in effect for parts of Louisiana and a very small part of Texas there. But there is a hurricane watch in effect for southwestern coastline of Louisiana and then southeastern coastline of Texas here. As you can see there in this latest forecast cone. And let's go ahead and look at the forecast discussion from the National Hurricane Center of Tropical Storm Laura here. And you can stop the video right now and read that if you want to. Stop the video right now and read that if you want to as well. And you can see they forecast the storm to peak as a 110 mile per hour high end Category 2 hurricane at landfall here, either somewhere in Louisiana or somewhere in Texas. The models think for the most part here. So certainly a serious situation here, and definitely you can see the forecast intensity raised up a little bit here with time, depending on again if Tropical Storm Laura takes full advantage of its current conditions it's going to be in now. With time, so you might see that 110 mile per hour forecast increase to maybe 115, 120 next few updates here. It really depends again if Tropical Storm Laura takes full advantage of its current conditions right now, or if it doesn't have any structural issues going on with it that affect it later on down the line. So again, if you haven't prepared already for the storm and the forecast track, especially if you're in the forecast track, actually, if you're not prepared for it already, you should be prepared. You have pretty much all day tomorrow to prepare for it till the conditions start to deteriorate with time. In fact, let me go ahead and look at the uh, arrival time for tropical storm force winds. Yeah, you have till about Wednesday morning to prepare for this storm. So you have till about Wednesday morning at about 7 or 8 in the morning, give or take, till conditions start to be deteriorating here, and start to go to tropical storm force winds for those areas. You have till about Wednesday to prepare for this storm. If you haven't already, and if you've decided not to, but you're gonna decide to now, now's the time to do it, to prepare for it. Here's the key messages for Tropical Storm Laura here. You can stop the video right now and read this if you want to. Just wait for it to load there. There you go. Stop the video right now and read that if you want to. And then here's Spanish if you want to stop the video right now and also read that as well. Okay, so that's Tropical Storm Laura. And again, I was going to show you something. Oh, there we go. These are the models for Tropical Storm Laura here, and you can see for now they're in fairly good agreement. Like I said, these forecast models can shift more to the east, more to the west, or keep staying on their course right now. So don't just look at these model runs right now to just see and take this as gospel and take this as like 100% this is going to happen and this is where it's going to make landfall at. Don't do that. These tracks can, like I said, of course, shift more east, more west with time. So easily Houston could be getting the hurricane here, or just as likely areas in southwestern Louisiana could also get the hurricane as well, like Baton Rouge. Those areas could get the hurricane here. So don't, like I said, don't just look at this one model run here and think that oh, it's gonna pass away from me, or oh, it's not gonna go over me, oh, or just have a false sense of security knowing that the forecast tracks don't have it hitting you. Be aware, like the National Hurricane Center say in their forecast cone on the top of your screen, you say the cone contains the probable path of the storm center but does not show the size of the storm. Hazardous conditions can occur outside of the cone, especially with this storm. If it strengthens as much as the National Hurricane Center think, you could be outside of the cone and still experience tropical storm force winds and dangerous seas and rip currents here. So don't just think that just because you're not in a cone necessarily does not mean you can't see the impacts from this storm here. So don't be led into that sense of false sense of security here. Recon has been flying into Laura here, and you can see their current flight path here. They found winds, I believe. I think the highest surface winds they found is about 55 knots or 50 knots, which is about equivalent to 60, 65 miles per hour. So right about where the National Hurricane Center have the storm intensity right now. Here's radar loop off of Cuba. The Cuba radars, a composite of the Cuba radars over time here. This loop was courtesy of Brian McNulty, so all credit goes to him for making this loop go through all of the days here. And you can see how the storm's been organizing over the past few days here and hours as it's crossed over Cuba and gotten really close to Cuba there over the past 3 hours, and now it's looking like it's over the Gulf of Mexico right now, or if not, it's really close to going over the Gulf of Mexico right now, and attempt to find further. Here's another radar composite there, and you can see again the center of circulation appears to be now over the Gulf of Mexico here. In terms of sea surface temperature wise, they're pretty much bathwater temperatures right now. Temperatures easily 29, 30 degrees Celsius, which is easily capable of producing, not producing, but capable of handling a Category 2 or higher hurricane here, like the National Hurricane Center is forecasting in their latest advisory. And I'm just looking through all my graphics here, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Remember to get official information, go to the National Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center for official information. National Weather Service for more localized forecasts and information. National Hurricane Center for like a more tropical view of things to come here. And again, for the National Hurricane Center, just type up nhc.noaa.gov or just nhc.gov or just NHC, and it'll probably be the first result on whatever search browser you're search engine using. And again, you'll know you're on a correct site when you get all this good life-saving information right in front of your fingertips here. Same goes with the National Weather Service. You'll know you're on a correct page when you see all this good information right here. And to get onto it, just type up weather.gov or just type nws.gov or just NWS. And like I said, it'll probably be the first result on whatever search engine or browser you're using here. So say you live in the, I don't know, the Houston-Galveston area. You want to click on the Houston-Galveston area, take you to your local forecast. Accidentally click Lake Charles, but still the same thing remains. Lake Charles, you get all your stuff right here, all the good information you see here, right here at your fingertips from the National Weather Service office in this area. And say you don't live in Lake Charles, but you live farther north. Say you live in Morgan City, click where it says Morgan City there, or click anywhere else on that map. Give you a 5-day graphical outlook right here and 7-day text forecast below that. And say you actually don't live in Morgan City and you misclicked or something. Say you actually live in Houma. I click there for Houma and get the latest forecast track, not forecast, but forecast for your area, general forecast for your area here from the National Hurricane Center. And you can also, if you can't find it on a map, you can put it in your town name right here. You can put in your zip code as well to get localized forecast. And there's also an hourly forecast right here to plan out your preparations day in advance here, because again, you pretty much have all of tomorrow to prepare for this storm before conditions start to rapidly deteriorate here with time. So just be aware of that. Trying to think if I've forgotten anything here. I don't really think I have. Just make sure you're prepared for the storm here, tropical storm Laura here, as well as also if you're in the Koreas here, prepare for this typhoon here as well. Oops. Typhoon Bavi, remember to prepare for that. And then also in Atlantic here, the main threat that I'm focusing on here, because this is where I originate from, the Gulf Coast here. Make sure you pay attention to your local officials for the latest information. Again, I'm not a certified meteorologist by any means. This is just a hobby of mine, so I'm not a professional. Take my opinions on these storms however you will. I'm not their official. Always look for the National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service for the latest on the tropics and general localized forecasts. And I'll have the links on the bottom of this on the description here. So if you want to see any of the links that I use of course for official information regarding storms. I use National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center because they're the official agencies for this basin of the world here. And then for satellite imagery, I like using Cyclonic Wix here, as you see on the top of your screen, and you get all this good information right here as well in front of your fingertips. And as well for a wide view, I like using tropical tidbits as well for also satellite imagery and other things. I could see Raycon, forecast models, analysis tools. Same thing also for Cyclonic Wix too. He has most of the same stuff too as well, and really good recon data as well. So those are the sites that I use. And of course, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope everybody has a great day and night. If you guys are, stay safe, of course. Remember to listen to your local officials. So I already know there's mandatory evacuations in effect for the Beaumont area of Texas, and voluntary evacuations for other parts of Texas and I believe Louisiana now. So again, please stay tuned on your local officials. If you have to evacuate, or if your dad's deciding to evacuate, you have to decide pretty much within the next 24 hours if you're going to do that. After that time, it's pretty much nearly too late for you, and you gotta hunker down or find a shelter and hunker down for this storm, depending on how strong it is. So of course, have a great day night, guys. Alright, stay safe, of course. Links for all the sites that I use are on the bottom, in the description here of this video. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability here. So hope everybody has a great day night, guys. Alright, stay safe, of course, and like I said, stay safe.